All right, we're going to review the 2023 NPC Nationals that just happened recently in Dallas, Texas. So for the first time ever, NPC Nationals has been moved to Dallas. I was told it's a 3-year contract, but based on how things went, it was a fantastic show, massive turnout, the biggest national show this year, especially for bikini. 216 girls crossed the stage for the Bikini Division alone, which was a really big show considering there was only about 130 at the USA Championships in Vegas in July. So a lot of people came out for this Texas show, and we had a lot of great competitors. So I figured I'd review the competitors that crossed the stage, and we talk about, what I'm seeing, what some of the results are, what the bikini standard is, and I figured you guys can just follow along while we're talking, and we're going to start right away with Class A. Now, something odd about this show, I had a competitor in every single height class. First time I think that's ever happened to me. Okay, so this is Blanca. Now, Blanca is amazing. I thought she had a good shot at turning pro at this show. I thought we were very full. Look at her tie-ins, her shape, her balance, great shoulder to waist ratio, striking front pose. The one thing I did not think about, and this is something when you're watching your competitors in their weekly updates, is when they get in the lineups, Blanca's tiny. She's like 4'10". So if you see her, she's second from the right. This was actually the second call-outs. But still, I stand by the fact that this girl will be a pro. She's just too good, right? We're just going to have to get her a couple more repetitions, get her a little more muscularity. But if you see how tiny she is, even for Class A, because Class A is up to 5'1". So this is kind of where you run into, like, she's actually tiny for Class A. She's about 4'10". But I was so excited for her to hit the stage, and she looked amazing. This is Dilru. Now, Dilru has been with me for a few years. We've won a bunch of overalls. She's Mr. Pro card a couple times by a spot. And so she just did the Ben Weider Naturals right before this, getting second in her class. So we decided to end the year at a show where I was going to be with her. I thought she looked amazing. Our best look of the year. And it resulted in a first call out for Class B. As I told you, I have a competitor in every height class. So it's going to be interesting to go through them all. Here's Dilru. Now with Dilru, you see she's starting to tilt her shoulders. We have to really focus on her posing. This is Rose New Rochelle, who actually won an overall in October. And so we were coming into this show with basically a reverse diet. We were bringing her food up the entire time, extremely lean, right? We were pushing the envelope for conditioning, but when competitors are not as muscular, I push the envelope for conditioning so we can be very aggressive with food. So the night before the show, she had I want to say close to 300 carbs and 70 fat to really fill out. We ended up getting Dilru into the first call-outs. Rose did not make first call-outs for this class. And then Dilru ended up finishing in the 5 or 6 position. So we never quite got to the middle. Rose was in the second call-outs, and she holds it down there in the middle. But again, you see this lineup. While her conditioning and shape are as good as anybody's in this lineup, you can just see the density is what's missing with Rose. So with her, it's just a matter of time, some more time in the gym to put on that tissue. If you look at the girls, the depth of their glutes, even though they're not conditioned, you can just see that the muscularity is there. So with Rose, we just got to focus. This is Class C. Haley was in Class C at this show, and we had done a warm-up earlier in the year. So last year, she didn't even qualify for nationals, so we're about to get some good news. This is Tiffany, who the week before competed in Texas, taking second to Christina, who was in Class D at this show. So the nice thing was Christina and her were in the same class in Texas at the Battle of Texas, but because they had more height classes here, they actually were separated into C and D. So the nice thing about Class C is that both of my girls in Class C were in first call-outs. The only problem with that is when they moved Tiffany to the center, they moved Haley to the outside. So Haley finished outside the top 5, but as you already know, Tiffany won the class. Sneak peek on that. So very excited for Tiffany because I think the week before getting second in her open class, even though there was 27 girls in that class at Battle of Texas, the biggest NPC show of the year that I'm aware of, 27 girls in one class, she took second to Christina, who did take the overall at that show. So, we got feedback from the judges, and they did want her to change her pose a little bit. She was pulling her shoulder back. So we made that correction. And lo and behold, you go to a national show and you win your class. So, well, you'll see that's coming up. So then we move to Class D. So it's fun. We do have one in every class. So this is Christina Sangor. This was our second show together. She came to me in summer and had previously competed in wellness, but I just don't think she was conditioned enough. So by the time we dieted her down, she was pure bikini. This is a bikini competitor that will be making noise on the pro stage. This was our second show. Our first show, she won the novice and open overall, the Battle of Texas. There was over 130 bikini competitors at that show. So that says something. So this is Class D first callouts, and she got moved immediately to the center. And they did not move her out of that spot. They did, however, move a couple other competitors around her. Now, again, at Nationals, top 2 go pro. So if there's a class of 8 and you are splitting middle, you're pretty confident that you're getting your pro card. It's never for sure, but we were pretty confident. I felt she was winning her class. Now we move to Class E. This is Hillary McMillan. Now, Hillary's been with me for a few years. This was our best look, but again, before she'll be, knocking at the door of turning pro, she'll need to be putting on a little bit of density, but her conditioning and shape and everything is very good. They did put her in the second callouts, and she did get moved in here. She also told me that this was the end of her competition career, at least for now, as she's going off to start a family. So very happy to hear that. And we had a great season, but the girls are very muscular at the national level, and Hillary, as a lifetime natural competitor, was really taking her time and working up the ranks. She just needs more time, but I was very happy with the overall performance for her. Here she is getting moved in, and I think we had a great talk after this show. So congrats to Hillary on a great competition career if she never comes back. She's got all the tools to be successful. We just need a little more development. The standard for the bikini division, the girls tend to be pretty bubbly at the national level. Lots of great shape. And Class E was 37. I think that was the largest class of the show. And it goes up to Class H. And then we moved to Class F. And I'm glad I got to see this video of Elena, because I felt we looked amazing. And I wasn't really was sure why we didn't get in first callouts. But when I watched this video back, I noticed a few things. So I'll show you. I don't think she hits her front pose when she comes back around. But glutes have come up way, 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 way more than... from 2021 till now, they've come up a lot. So we'll talk about her call out in a second. This is Kayla Kraus, who has been first call outs at basically every national show we've done together. So she's always knocking on the door. This was our best look. Sorry for the live stream here. It does freeze from time to time. But yeah, Kayla was in first call outs at this show. So we'll start with this is the first call outs, I believe. So if you look third from left in the red suit, that's Kayla. She just held that spot. They never really looked at her for the win, but I was really excited about the look that we had. The depth that she added to her glutes from our show in August till December, just remarkable. At the Clash, they really wanted her to add some size, and she did that while keeping her waist tight. We were up a couple pounds in stage weight, but conditioning was the same. So, Kayla's knocking on the door. We've already had our call. We're discussing plans. And here's Elena, and this is where I think we're messing up. So watch when Elena hits her front pose. She pushes her glute out, and see that lower abdomen? It gives it like an arched look. I think she needs to stand up straighter, and I think she's going to be a force. I was really happy with her overall look. I think it's the best package we've ever had, and it's not close. It's just a matter of fine-tuning some things, and she will be a pro. The glute depth on her has come way up. Literally when I first started coaching her a couple of years ago, she didn't even have glutes. So now they're there. It's really good. This is Brooklyn. So now we're on to Class G, getting to the tall girls. Class G is where 5'6" to 5'7". So this was Brooklyn and I's best look, hands down, and it wasn't close. The exciting thing for this was that while we were bringing food up all week during peak week, she was dropping and getting tighter. So we went right into this improvement season in a great spot, and we've already got plans. And this is Josephine Holmberg, another Class G girl. Probably has as good a shape as you can have in bikini. Like, her structure is just fantastic. We just need a little more bubble to the shoulders and a little more depth to some of the lower body muscles to stand out, because the girls in Class G get really dense, right? So yeah, so Brooklyn did make first call outs for Class G. You see her on the right there in the red suit. But I think we needed to be slightly more conditioned, and gosh, I think she'll be right there. I think she'll be knocking on the door for a pro card in 2024. another good class. Again, I think the average class size at this show was 27. So, I mean, you're talking about a really good national show when you've got sometimes 4 or 5 callouts per class. And this is Josephine's call out in Class G. And you'll see, I felt her conditioning was pretty good. Probably could have been a little bit tighter. But again, if you just look at the bubble and the thickness on some of the girls, she's not quite there yet at the national level. Her legs get a little thin from hip to knee, and we need a little more depth in those shoulders. But look at the shape, and you know, bikini is definitely about shape, and she has that. So you can add muscle to some girls, and it's not going to really do a whole lot for them. When we add muscle to Josephine, she's going to be dominant. And this is Katarina. Katarina, fantastic shape. We were able to win our class a couple weeks prior to this in California, so we felt we were in a good spot for the national stage. Now Katarina's Class H. She's obviously very tall. Our conditioning was good. We were starting to notice a little bit of glute striation, so I didn't want to push the conditioning too far. We were able to get on stage. I know she had a rough day on show day. She wasn't happy with her makeup. She wasn't happy with her tan. I think she got a little bit stressed, and this is her in the second call-outs. So again, she did not get that first call-out that we're looking for. But if you look here, you can see the 3D look on some of these glutes, the 3D look on the lower body. This is a muscle sport. And the bikini division has been around for quite a while now. So the girls are showing up with more muscle than ever, especially in the areas that are going to be judged the heaviest. And for girls, that glute depth is something that you really got to have, especially at a show this size. So here's our placings. Kayla getting 5th. Here is Dilru getting 5th. Our first pro card of the day was Tiffany winning Class C. Our second pro card of the day is Christina winning Class D. And that's it. That's it for the nationals. And honestly, the last show of the year, I did have one competitor compete the week after this at a local show, but I'm excited. We end the year with a couple pro wins in December. In November and December, I had 2 pro wins. I had two pros in the top 10 at the Olympia. I had a world natural bodybuilding overall champion in Brian DaCosta. And then to end the last show of the year, getting 2 pro cards, 2 class wins, to have 2 of the 8 in the overall. Couldn't ask for a better end of the year, a better year as a coach. And I'm very proud of all these girls and what the next steps are going to be for us. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Comment below if you were at nationals. I unfortunately was sick while I was there, so I really wasn't being too social, but I'm feeling better now, and I'm excited for what's ahead. All right, guys. Thank you.